In a quiet African village surrounded by wide savannas and tall mountains, people lived by one sacred rule: never enter the forbidden forest. The elders often spoke of it around the fire at night. The forest was older than the village, older than the river, maybe even older than the mountains. They said ancient spirits lived there. Spirits that watched. Spirits that remembered? Every evening, when the red sun sank behind the trees, the villagers hurried home. Drums stopped beating, and the paths became silent. But one boy was different. His name was Kato, the son of a brave hunter. Kato was curious. He always looked toward the dark forest with wondering eyes. One windy night, as the moon hid behind heavy clouds, Kato heard something strange. A soft whisper floated through the air. Kato. He froze. Again, the voice came from the deep shadows of the forbidden forest. Kato stood still, his heart beating like the village drums. The whisper came again from the dark forest. Kato, come closer. The wind moved through the tall trees, making a soft, haunting sound. The boy felt both fear and curiosity pulling him forward. The next morning, Kato ran to the elders who sat under the great baobab tree. Their faces were old and wise, marked by many seasons. I heard a voice in the forbidden forest, Kato told them. The elders looked at each other with worry. One elder slowly shook his head. The spirits of that forest do not call humans for no reason. Another elder spoke in a low voice. Many years ago, hunters who entered that forest never returned. Kato felt a chill. For many days, Kato tried to forget the whisper. He helped his father with hunting traps and carried water from the river. But every night, when the wind moved through the trees, the voice returned. Kato! Come! One evening, the sky turned dark purple and the air smelled of rain. The village drums slowly faded and people closed their huts. But Kato could not ignore the call any longer. With a small torch in his hand, he quietly walked toward the forbidden forest. The moment he stepped under the tall trees, the air felt colder. The wind whispered through the leaves, and strange glowing insects floated in the darkness. Suddenly, he saw something strange. A narrow path appeared between the trees. Kato had lived near this forest his whole life, but he had never seen this path before. At the end of the path stood a huge, ancient tree. Kato slowly stepped closer to the ancient tree. His torch flickered in the cold wind. The forest was silent, but the silence felt alive. Then the shadows beneath the tree began to move. A pale blue light rose from the ground, swirling like mist. Kato's breath caught in his throat. From the glowing light, a tall spirit slowly appeared. Its eyes shone like moonlight on water. Its voice was deep and calm. Kato, you finally came. The boy trembled but did not run. Why did you call me? He asked softly. The spirit lifted one glowing hand toward the forest. For many seasons, humans have forgotten the old ways, it said. They take from the forest, but give nothing back. The wind suddenly grew stronger, shaking the branches above them. You have entered this forest, the spirit continued. Now, you must face the test of the spirits. The spirit raised its glowing hand, and the forest suddenly came alive. The wind roared through the trees. Dark shadows moved between the trunks. Strange whispers filled the air, circling around Kato like unseen birds. Kato's legs trembled, but he did not run. The spirit's voice echoed through the forest. Many who came before you were ruled by fear. They ran, and the forest closed its path to them forever. Suddenly, a loud growl came from the darkness. Two bright eyes appeared between the bushes. A huge shadow stepped forward, looking like a powerful forest beast. Kato's heart pounded like thunder. He remembered the elder's words and his father's courage. Slowly, he lowered his torch and stood still. I will not harm the forest, Kato said bravely. I only wish to understand. The beast stopped. The forest became silent again. The spirit watched carefully. The glowing spirit slowly nodded. The forest beast lowered its head and stepped back into the shadows. The wind softened, and the trees became calm again. "You have passed the test," the spirit said gently. Kato looked around. The forest no longer felt dark or frightening. Fireflies danced in the air like tiny stars. For many years, humans forgot to respect the land. The spirit continued. "But you showed courage, patience, and a peaceful heart." The spirit touched the ancient tree. A soft golden light spread through the forest. "Return to your village and remind them," the spirit said. "The forest gives life, but it must also be protected." When morning came, Kato walked back to the village. From that day, the people cared for the forest and honored the spirits.